Hello everyone. Is my voice audible to you? Hello. Hello. Hello team. Can we start? Hello. 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 Hello team. Uh, Myself Amit Pawar. Today I am conducting your user training. I am having a total experience of 7 years, and till now I have done 15 end-to-end implementation. I have done, as far coming to my background in education, I have done BTech in Electronics and Communication. I have done MBA in International Business and Information Technology, and I have done certification in SAP as well as in CCNA, and I have done many implementation in manufacturing in rubber industry, switchgear industry, herbal extraction company, trading companies, pharma companies, and in food and spices companies. Today topic is basically resource master data in SAP, and I will continue from page number 504. Basically, resource master data in SAP Business One is to load the cost to get the cost of finished goods, and you can also planning of your resources, your machining, and basically your labors. And our first point is um, routing date calculation, stage dates, and resource consumption. And first point is on start date. Basically, these are the fields coming on the resource master data. First one is start date, end date, start date forward, end date for backwards. And start date is resources allocated to the start date in each stage. बेसिकली किस डेट से आपका रिसोर्स जो है वो स्टार्ट करेगा, मतलब मशीन के ऊपर काम करना, एंड एंड डेट इज कब तक वो काम करेगा, रिसोर्स इज एलोकेटेड टू द एंड डेट इन ईच स्टेज. थर्ड पॉइंट इज स्टार्ट डेट फॉरवर्ड. रिसोर्स एलोकेशन starts from the start date of the first stage. Second is end date of a stage sets the start date of next stage. And third, the end date of the last stage sets the due date in the header. Basically, if in resource master data, uh, to be mapped in production order, the start date forward is working like this. We have to first of all we have to configure in resource master data. We have to change the setting from the start date to start date forward, so that we came to know कि किस डेट से हमारा ये रिसोर्स स्टार्ट. हमने इस डेट से हमने प्लानिंग की थी, लेकिन अभी रिसोर्सेस ऑलरेडी हमारा और भी मैप है, तो हमारी कब से इसका स्टार्ट डेट स्टार्ट होगा, मतलब जब हम प्लान इस प्रोडक्ट ऑर्डर का हम प्लान स्टेज से रिलीज पे इसका स्टेटस चेंज करेंगे, अपडेट करेंगे रिसोर्स मास्टर डेटा को, एंड तभी हमें सिस्टम सजेस्ट करेगा कि स्टार्ट डेट फॉरवर्ड हमारी ये इस डेट से हमें प्रोडक्शन जो है हमारा स्टार्ट करना चाहिए, रिसोर्सेस हमारे इस डेट से वर्केबल है. एंड सिमिलरली फॉर एंड डेट कि हमारा इस डेट तक ये हमारा सिस्टम सजेस्ट करेगा कि इस डेट तक हमारा जो रिसोर्सेस है वो इस डेट तक हमें प्रोडक्शन करके देगी, रिसोर्स या मशीन हमारी इस डेट तक हमें प्रोडक्शन करके देगी. I have also make a small document regarding the resource master data. I will show you. Like this, we have created two resources. First one is labor 003, another is labor 004. Resources defined in SAP with resource cost. This is the resource master data in which we create the resources like labor 003, and we have resource allocation to be mapped on start date, and we have mapped the resource group. We have set resource type labor, and we have to means define the unit of measure, basically in hours. And here we have defined the cost 150 per hour cost. And second slide is we have defined labor 004, and cost is we have defined 150. And here you can see the BOM master data which I have created, and I have mapped the resources labor 003 and labor 004. I have defined 1 hour And in labor 004, I have defined in quantity field 1 hour. After that, if we create a sales order and we run MRP, and through MRP we create a recommendation of production order in plan stage, and as well as a purchase request, and we have in production order we have mapped our resources labor 003 and labor 004. So this is my sales order I have created in SAP. I have mentioned the finished goods quantity HL 15A, quantity is 100, unit price I have mentioned 1000, and in resource planning we can also see the internal capacity of resources are defined, and based on this SAP will provide the resource capacity report. After defining the resource master data and run the production order module in SAP Business One, we can see the resource planning capacity report basically. And after defining the sales order, now we are running the MRP, and we have choose the sales order which I have created. You can see I have click on the sales order box which I have created, and after sales order after running the MRP, system suggests the production order which created by through MRP recommendation. And here we can see the resources I have mapped labor 003 and labor 004. And I have set the routing date calculation on start date. Uh, the here system suggests on start date forward. It's up, it's our requirement on which we have to select the parameters. After running the production order, issue for production, receipt from production, we can see the resource capacity report in resource master module. In resources module, you can see the labor 003, the available quantity shows to be in minus 70, and internal we have 30. And for labor 003 we have same minus 70 in available, and internal we have 30. And here if we can see 1106, we have used this means labor the and working hours are 10 basically, and in available we have shown minus 90. And same for labor 004, we can see we have defined, we have utilized this resource master data on 11th of June. We can see its quantity is 10 hours, and in available it has shown minus 90. This is basically one report which I have explained, resource capacity report. And another one is we can see the capacity data uh, which is coming over here. Internally you can see the warehouse wise, and in resource warehouse we can see its quantity is defined 30. Now coming to our TV, the other two methods are more sophisticated. And first one is with the start date forward method. The start date from the header is copied to the start date of the first stage. Then if there is not enough capacity to meet the planned quantity of the resources, the system continue to allocate resource capacity in the coming days until all the planned capacity is fully allocated. The end date of this stage is the last day last day of capacity allocation. The next stage start date is the end date of the previous stage. When the last stage is reached, the end date is set to header due date. Note the note that capacity allocation is calculated from the beginning of the day, basically. Second point is the end date backward works similarly, but starting the end date of the last stage, the header due date is copied to the end date of the last stage. Then if there is not enough capacity to meet the planned quantity of the resource, the system continues to allocate resource capacity for each day backwards until all planned capacity is allocated. The start date of this stage will be the last date of the capacity allocation. The previous stage end date will be the start date of the last stage calculated. When reaching the first stage, the start date is set to the header start date. Note that capacity allocation is calculated from the end of the day. बेसिकली इट्स स्टार्ट डेट फॉरवर्ड का मतलब ये है कि आप नहीं कोई प्लानिंग आपकी ये थी और आपने स्टार्ट इस डेट से करा है, तो सिस्टम ऑटोमेटिक हमें सजेस्ट करेगा जो हमने रिसोर्सेस ऑलरेडी उस पर मैप किए हुए हैं कि पहले से हमने इस पे एक मशीन एक प्रोडक्शन ऑर्डर पे ये मैप है रिसोर्स, लेकिन हमने दूसरे पे भी उसे मैप कर दिया, तो सिस्टम क्या करेगा कि आपको सजेस्ट करेगा कि इस डेट में ये कंप्लीट करेगा स्टार्ट डेट फॉरवर्ड करने के बाद में। और आपने अगर प्रोडक्शन सेम डेट में रन कर दिया तो सिस्टम क्या करेगा उसे नेगेटिव क्वांटिटी में शो करेगा इन रिपोर्टिंग फॉर्मेट। Now in required days calculation, you can see resources plan quantity in stage is equal to 12, available stage available single run capacity day 1 पे 4 है, day 2 पे 6, day 3 पे 4 and day 4 पे 10. In first column you can see start date forward, you can see 4 stage date 6 and second stage date, and required days are 2.5 accordingly. And similarly for end date you can see 1.5 required days. Now I am explaining the example which covers in the PV. Let us examine this scenario for the start date forward and end date backward methods. We examine the effect on start date and end date of a stage on resource capacity allocation. In our scenario, the resource plan quantity in the stage is equal to 12. The available single run capacity is set to 4 in day 1,6 in a day 2,4 in day 3 and 10th on day 4. When using the start date forward routing date calculation, the system start to allocate the available capacity to reach the capacity needed for this stage from the start date of the stage day 1. To allocate 12 resources unit, the system consumes the entire 4 units from day 1, then another 6 from day 2, and lastly another 2 of the 4 units available on day 3rd. This also means it takes 2 full days of the resources available plus 2 out of 4 resource unit, which equals half a resource day. Therefore, the required days are 2.5. When using the end date backward routing date calculation, the system start to allocate from the end date of the stage 4. The system consumes the entire 10 units available on day 4 and another 2 out of 4 available in day 3. With this method, the required days is equal to 1.5 days. Total day calculation is stage 3rd painting. Required days are showing 1.5, waiting days 1, and total days are 2.5. Production time calculation basically stage 3rd painting. Production time shows 10 hours, which we have mapped in the resource master data. Routing recalculation basically changes is done in the production order routing date calculation. One field is shown in production order basically update now. Update the start date and end date of star stages and rows. Update resources capacity allocation. In a production order with routing, manual changes made in the production order header or rows may require recalculation of row dates and resource capacity allocation. The system does not trigger this update automatically, but instead allows the user to decide whether to update the rows. The system does not trigger this update automatically, but instead allows the user to decide whether to update the rows or not. To indicate to the user that an update is advised, the button update now turns red as shown in the image. At OC Wood trend, there is a need to recalculate stage date when the production start date is postponed and the routing date calculation is start date forwards. Once the production manager changes the start date in the header of the production order, the update now button turns red. The production manager chooses the button and a system message appears asking the user for permission to update the rows date accordingly. बेसिकली अगर आप प्रोडक्शन ऑर्डर में कुछ चेंजेस कर रहे हो मैनुअली तो आपको रिसोर्सेस में भी आपको अपडेट नाउ के बटन पे आपको क्लिक करना पड़ेगा, जिसके अकॉर्डिंगली सिस्टम जो है वो अपडेट करेगा राउटिंग जो आपकी जो रिसोर्सेज की जो डेट्स हैं अकॉर्डिंगली. A similar procedure happens when a certain resource is replaced with another resource. Since the new resource has a different production time and available capacity, the production manager chooses the red button to update start date and end date and the resource capacity allocation. अगर हम कोई नई रिसोर्स एलोकेट कर रहे हैं तो फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल हमें वो रिसोर्स डिफाइन करनी पड़ेगी, उसकी कॉस्ट डिफाइन करनी पड़ेगी, यूनिट ऑफ मेजर डिफाइन करना पड़ेगा एंड फिर हमें वो बॉम में अपडेट करना पड़ेगा. अकॉर्डिंगली हमें बॉम में इट्स अवर चॉइस टू अपडेट इन बॉम और टू अपडेट इन रनिंग प्रोडक्शन ऑर्डर. हम रनिंग प्रोडक्शन ऑर्डर में उसे अपडेट करेंगे, देन जो हमें रिप्लेस करना है बेसिकली फिर हम दोबारा से अपडेट वाले बटन पे क्लिक करेंगे जो सिस्टम हेडर लेवल पे हमें एसएपी हमें एसएपी का जो आइकन है हम उस पर क्लिक करेंगे अपडेट के बटन पे, तो सोर्स की जो डेट है वो अकॉर्डिंगली डेट अपने आप अपडेट हो जाएगी. Refer to the document how to work with resources and production in SAP Business on 9.3 to find the list of conditions that trigger the button to turn red. Basically, for issue for production, routing scenario, routing sequence, routing stage, cutting, standing, painting, assembly, possible to issue component per route stage. After a production order is released, the production order manager in OC would trend issues component to production one stage at a time. Issue component from a production order with routing can be done per route stage. जब आप इश्यू कर रहे हो बेसिकली तो आप इश्यू करते हुए जब राइट क्लिक करके आप इश्यू कंपोनेंट करोगे तो स्टेज वाइज आप इश्यू कर सकते हो. तो स्टेज वाइज आप वहाँ पर रिसोर्सेज भी आपके मैप आएंगी एंड बेसिक और आपका जो आइटम है आइटम भी आएगा. तो एक्चुअली अगर आप प्रोडक्शन ऑर्डर आपने रन कर दिया और आप समरी में जाके समरी का टाइम में आप देखोगे तो वहाँ पर आपको दिखेगा कि रॉ मेटेरियल आरएम कंपोनेंट कॉस्ट एंड रिसोर्स कॉस्ट और उसके बिहाफ पे ही फिर आपकी जो एक्चुअल कॉस्ट है प्रोडक्ट की कॉस्ट वो आपकी जो सम करके बनेगी आपकी कॉस्ट रिसोर्सेज प्लस आपकी जो आइटम की रॉ मेटेरियल की जो कॉस्ट है. In summary, here are some keys about products order with routing. A product order with routing is based on a BOM with routing and composed of stages. Each stage may contain several components, rows and different production calculation at the stage level. Basically, ये route stage क्या है? Route stage is, you can see over here, we have created the following route stages, shorts. Basically, in route stage, you can see we have many stages defining over here. First one is shorts, paddling, CNC machining, buffing, and inspection and packing, finished goods, drilling and taping, VMC machining. We have defining here means from the starting of the point from shorts till assembly, we have defining all our stages in the route stage, and accordingly we have created our bombs, and automatically it comes in the production order module. Now you can see my production order which I have added, and I have this is my product number HL15B. Description comes automatically. Now I have defined my product order is of 1000 quantity, and in routing date calculation I have select on start date basically, and in route stage first of all I have defining SPM, and I have defined the item master data which uh, which is our SFG finished goods or our maybe our raw metal, and second one is our resource which I have mapped over here, and you can see my second stage is of buffing, and here I have only mapped the resource. Basically I have to load the resources cost on my finished goods product, so I have mapped my resources over here, and after that you can see my third routing stage showed blasting basically, and here I have also mapped my resources to load the resource cost on my finished goods. And in summary part you can see the actual item component cost. Basically it's a raw material component cost or maybe your SFG component cost, and now here you can see the actual resources component cost is of 50,000, and now you can see my actual product cost. Actual product cost is basically your item component cost plus your resources cost is your actual product cost. And here you can also see my planned quantities of 1000 and my completed quantity is also 1000. And in products module you can see the relationship map. This is my issue for production entry, this is my receipt from production entry. You can see the issue for production entry is done basically for consumption for raw metal for SFG finished goods, and receipt for production entry is done basically for to receive the semi finished goods or your finished goods part. Now the routing date calculation method can set date dependencies between the different stages and update the stage dates accordingly, can set the resource capacity allocation according to single run capacity defined for the resources. Manual changes made in the production order header or rows may raise the need to recalculate rows, date, and resource capacity allocation. If you made any changes in the production order manually, then you have to change your resources accordingly. You have to click on the update button, then this date calculation comes automatically. This scenario, the update now button turns red, alerting the user to choose the button and thus activate this update. Here are some keys about product order with routing. A product order with routing is based on BOM with routing and composed of stages. Each stage may contain several component rows and different production calculation at the stage level. The routing date calculation method basically can set date dependencies between the different stages and update the stage's date accordingly. Can set the resource capacity allocation according to single run capacity defined for the resources. Manual changes made in the production order or rows may raise the need to recalculate rows and resources capacity allocation. When the system recognizes this scenario, the update now button turns red. Basically, same is repeating over here. And our next topic is production and MRP basically. In resource master data, uh, how to create resource master data, I will explain you. For resource master data, first of all, you have to come in the resource module. You have to click on the resource master data, and SAP will means automatically open the resource master data in the find mode. You can see you have to click on this add button to create a new resource master data. And if you want to see the existing resources which we have created in the system, you have to put a star and click on enter. You can see the all the resources master data which we have created in the SAP. Or else you can click on this previous record. Here we can see the resource number we have created, VMC 007, and accordingly we have to put a define the description, VMC Supermax. This is our machine basically, and we have to select the resource type. Like resource type is machine, can be machine, can be labor or other. And after that you have to choose the resources group which we have created. And in resource master data you have to define the unit of measure basically in hours. After that you have to click on this issue method. There are two methods, backflash and manual. Basically we have to select the manual by default. And after that resource allocation we have to choose on start date forward, on end date, and on back date basically. And here we can define our cost per hour cost of our resource. And in capacity data you can see the resource warehouse in which you can see the quantity, internal, order, committed, consume, available. And in planning data type, basically you can plan your capacity. Like this machine works for only 10 hours in a day or 10 hours in a shift. You can define accordingly. If this machine you have created in a fixed asset master data as a master data, then you can link the fixed asset master data over here. If you have some properties, you can map over here. If you have attachment regarding the machine parts and brochure or anything regarding, you can attach any document. If you have some remarks, you can put a remarks, and you can click of, on this resource master data to add this. And also you can activate, inactivate this resource master data. Inactive, you can define a range from this date to this date. You can inactive this resource master data, and you can also put a remarks over here. And in advance you can put active date from this date to this date, and you can also put an inactive range, and accordingly you can defining your remarks. After that you can see the resource capacity report basically. You have to choose a period for from which date to which date you want to see. You can select your resources. If you want to see one resource data, you can select your one resource data. If you want to choose a multiple, you can choose multiple. Then you have to click on this OK button. Accordingly, report data will comes. After that, There is one another feature set, daily internal capacity. The daily internal capacity you can define in the resource module that this resource or labor or machine works only for 10 hours. Here you can also see the working hours. And in production module, you can see the production which I have added. And just like you can see the route stage, accordingly the items, accordingly the resources which I have mapped over here. In resource concept, there are three resource types: machine type, labor, and other. Other is basically like you have a tool and die machines. You can define over in other. The resource is defined as master data in the system. There are three types of resources basically. Machine type, this is a resource that can be linked to one or more fixed assets taken from the fixed assets master data list. Secondly, labor type, this is a resource that can be linked to one or more employees taken from the employees master data list. And other one is other type, any other resource that is not a machine or labor. Resource concept, basically resource are used in bill of material, item, resources, and item. Performed in marketing document. To do this, we first need to connect a non-inventory item to the resource. This item represents a resource is used in a marketing document. Unlike item, resources are not accumulated in quantities. They are managed by capacity. In SAP Business One, we can plan and define a daily capacity for the resources. By monitoring this capacity, we can optimize the production plan and avoid bottlenecks. Main resource, master data elements covered in this training, resource type, resources group, standard cost definition, resource unit of measure, and runtime calculation basically. These are the bold parts are these like basically the important parts are resource item number, resource description, resource type, unit of measure, and after that resource cost. Resource allocation. Basically, the bold parts are the mandatory parts to define any resource master data. in SAP Business One. In this topic, we cover three aspects: resource type, resource group, resource unit of measure, and runtime calculation. Resource capacity management is covered in the resource capacity course topic. Resource types are basically machine, labor, other. Machine in basically the fixed assets tab is activated. You can also map your resources if you have created under financial module under fixed assets. One or more fixed assets can be linked to the resources. Second is labor. The employee tab is activated. One or more employees can be linked to these resources. Basically, other no additional tab are activated. I will explain this part accordingly. This is a machine basically, and you can, if you have created this machine as a fixed assets under fixed assets module, then you can link this machine over here. And for same for the employees, if you have created, you can click on this find button. After that, you can click on the labor, then put a star to search out the labor you have defined in the SAP Business One. These are your labors. LAB 001. You can define the employee master data and tag this in the resource master module. Your employee is basic. You can basically you have linked your employee under this employee mode employee tab basically. After that, let us start with the resource type. You can select the relevant resource type machine slash labor slash other in the resource type field in the header of the resources master data window. When you select machine as the resource type, the fixed assets tab is activated in the master data record. One or more fixed assets can be selected for a machine. When you select labor as the resource type, the employee tab is activated instead of the fixed assets that you can associate employees with these resources. The other tab is used for resources that are not fixed assets or employees. If you select the other type, then that are not fixed assets or employees, this feature will come. Note that to work with fixed assets and see the fixed assets tab, you first need to activate this feature on this company details window in the administration module under system and installation menu bar. After that, this is the resource group. I have highlighted the bold fields which are mandatory to define a resources in resource master data. The resource group are used to group together machines or employees that have similar type of cost. When choosing a resource group, the list of resource standard cost is updated. This list is defaulted from the resource group setup window. Basically, this is the resource group. Quality, paint shop, machine shop. These all are your resources group. You can see over here. Each resource type can have many resource groups. The resource group are used to group together machines, employees, or other resources that have similar type of cost. Resource groups are defined on the resource group setup window. You can define up to 10 user-defined cost component for each group. Each cost component can given a meaningful name for a cost related to the resources. The amount entered in the default cost column sets the ratio of expenses amount of each cost component in a general entry made for the resources. Basically, if you have defined 150 in the resource master data in the standard cost, then system automatically multiply with the quantity defined in the production module. If you have defined two quantities, then 2 multiplied by 150 becomes 300. Then 300 cost is automatically loads on your finished goods or your semi-finished goods part. In the image on the right, we can see a crafting machine group definition. This group has the resource type machine. The resource standard cost components were defined for this group. Amortization, maintenance, and overhead. The list of default standard costs in the resource master data is taken from the resource group definition. These costs can be changed manually for each resource master data. In our business example, Possible Trends have 5 lathe machines that they use in production. Since they have similar type of cost, they have grouped together in crafting machine resource group. If we have a similar type of means posting, then we can map in the same group as per mentioned in the TV. It is possible to define a different GL account for each resource standard cost, which will be used in the production order general entry. For more information about production cost, GL account determination for production cost, see the next four topics. Basically, we after defining the resource cost, like we have defined 60, we have for a general entry impact for a we have to map the resource cost, resource mapping we have to do in GL account determination. Basically, we have to map this stand. We have to map our we have to map the GL code over here to get the impact of our general entry, to get the impact of our resource cost, which we have mapped in the production module. So we have to define this general ledger in the GL account determination. Basically, if we have defined standard cost expenses 2, then we have also to define another GL. If we have defined standard cost expenses 3 in the resource master data, then we have to define the third general ledger over here. These are mandatory columns to define to get the impact of your resource cost and in production order to get a general entry. Basically, resource cost capacity is measured in certain unit of measure. Resource unit can be time or any other type of unit. Resource unit of measure are converted into time units using the time per resource units and the resource units per time per period field. Runtime per resource unit of measure resource is measured in the resource unit of measure. This unit of measure have time type units such as hours or minutes, as well as any other type of units such as cycle, turn, and so on. This is resource unit is used during planning and conduction of the capacity in bills of material and products order, including all related transactions such as the issue for production. To translate the resource consumption time in the production process, we need to define the specific time period. The unit of major tax represent the time per resource unit field. 15 minutes represents the time needed for the resource unit per time period 1 unit to be consumed in production. Basically, the runtime or consumption time of a single unit of resources is equal to the time per resource unit divided by the resource units per time period. Example of runtime calculation: basically, the lathe resource usually runs in 15-minute cycle. The resource unit of measure is cycle. To define the runtime of the resource in production order, we need to convert the unit cycle into unit of time. Here are two options to do that. First option is time per resource unit is equals to 15 minutes. Resource unit per time period is equals to one cycle in 15 minutes basically. Then we have to define time per resource unit is equals to our 15 minutes basically, and resource unit per time period is equal to 1. Second option is time per resource unit. We have defined 1 hour, and resource unit per time period is equals to 4 cycle in 1 hour. So basically we have defined time per resource unit is equals to 1, and resource unit per time period is equals to 4. Results: in a bill of material, we have defined that 3 cycles are needed to produce one final product. Thereafter, therefore, the resource runtime for producing one final product is 45 minutes, basically. So 15 multiplied by 3, basically. Let us examine the scenario. The machine resource usually runs in 15-minute cycle. The unit of measure text for this resource is cycle. Basically, unit of measurement of resource is cycle. The capacity of the resource is measured in cycle, and the quantities in the bill of material are also in cycle. The quantities which we have defined of resource master data is also in cycle in the BOM which we have defined. At OC wood trend, in the bill of material of a wooden door, they need 3 cycles of the lathe machine to produce one door. To define the runtime of the machine in a specific production order, we need to convert cycle units of measure into time. The formula of the conversion between the resource unit of measure text cycle and time is as follows. When the time per resource unit is 15 minutes, the resource unit per time period equals 1 cycle. When the time per resource unit is 1 hour, the resource unit per time period equals 4 cycles. This setting allows us to calculate the runtime of the specific resource needed to produce the required quantity of the final product. In our case, 3 cycles of the machine are needed to produce one door. The resource runtime calculation is bill of material. Basically, multiply the time per resource units per time period. In our example, it is 45 minutes. Now that OC Wood Trend knows how to define the run time of the resource, they can plan and manage the capacity of these resources. The way to define and manage resource capacity is described in the course topic resource capacity. Production order runtime: basically, total production order runtime is equals to maximum value of runtimes of the resources in the production order. Basically, in the production order, you can see the 2 resources are mapped over here, R4 times 04 and R4 times 06. Lathe machine and operator. In quantity, we can see the plant quantity 3, and in unit of measure, we can see cycle, and operator plant quantity is 0.5, and unit of measure is R. Basically, the lathe machine works 3 cycle of 15 minutes. It's equals to 45 minutes basically. The operator employee works half an hour, 0.5, which is equals to 30 minutes. Then plant terms, basically in summary, you can, in the production order module, in the summary tab, you can see the plant terms. Total production time is 45, total additional time, and total additional time, basically there are no additional time, so it comes 0. And in total run time, you can see 45 minutes. So because different type of resources, machine slash labor, can be included in one production order, simplified calculation of the total production order runtime is applied. The total runtime of production order is the maximum value of the production time of the resources in the production order. Basically, this image is taken from the production order that contains two resources, a lathe machine and a machine operator. Basically, to produce this bill of material, 3 cycles of lathe machine are needed. Single, since each cycle equals to 15 minutes, then 3 cycles are equals to 45 minutes. In addition, in half an hour, 30 minutes is needed from the operator. The total runtime of the product order equals the maximum resources production time, which is 45 minutes basically. Machine runs for 45 minutes, and similarly the operator works. Note that this scenario is for a non-routing production order. To learn more about production order with routing, refers to the course production processes basically. In SAP, you can see the in summary tab, and in summary tab at the left hand side, you can see the actual item component cost, which is our raw material as well as our SFG cost. And and in second field, we can see actual resource component cost is coming based on the cost which we have mapped in the resource master data, multiply the quantity which comes over here, like for seventh column, plant quantity is our 1000, then 1000 multiply with the resource cost which we have defined in the resource master data in the standard cost. And here and the right hand side, you can see the plant terms, total production time and total run time, which I have explained you just now. That's all for today's session. Thank you for joining the session. If you have any question, you can ask me. Okay, thanks everyone for joining this session.